Hello, everyone. So we are gonna slowly let people get kind of coming in here, but wanted to thank all of you for coming. Just a couple housekeeping stuff before we get started and before we bring the judges on to introduce them. Hello, everyone. So we are gonna slowly let people get kind of coming in here. Let me close. There we go. We're streaming live on YouTube. We'll see if that works. But yeah, so unfortunately, Lynn, who was supposed to be emceeing this, he is stuck in another country right now, so he won't be here, but I will try my best to fill his shoes. So wanted to kind of go over a couple things. I think we have quite a few people in here, so we'll go ahead and get started. If you don't know me, my name's Eric Miller. I'm the president and founder of the Creators Society. I worked with Lynn to kind of help put all this on, but it was mainly kind of Lynn who kind of started it back when we did it back in 2020, when we were looking for something to give people a chance to get together without getting together. So we kind of thought this would be a good way to get people that wasn't just a Zoom panel or something. So last year, we had a week to do all this. This time we had a month, so people had a little bit more time to kind of put things together. But wanted to thank everybody for, all the effort and everything that they put into doing this. Quickly to run through kind of how we're going to do this, just so everyone's clear. We have our order, and we can thank Excel randomizer for coming up with the order. So it was randomized, so there's no favoritism. But we will have one representative from each team to come on before we show it. So what I'll do is I'll say which one's going to come up, or if you see in the list I'll be sharing soon, you'll see which one's coming up. Raise your hand so it's easier for me to find you in the attendee list, and then I'll bring you on so that you can kind of say, what you want about your short. You can keep it short or give as much as you want, introduce or talk about some of your teammates, but keep it short as you can so that we can kind of get to the actual production. Once we watch it, we'll bring on the judges to kind of talk about each one. We'll probably only have one or two judges comment on each. So we can kind of, again, keep moving. Then we will, at the end, after we've watched them all, we'll give the audience a chance to kind of finish up their audience score. I'll have a scorecard I'll be sharing in the chat here in a moment that all of you can kind of follow along and kind of score as you go. The way the scoring works, it's 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. So if you want to rate them all as 10, you can do that, but that's kind of how it's not like you're not ranking them in order. You're just scoring 10 as being the highest of what you think. So let's see, anything else? Let me share. What I'm going to do is share this link in the chat. I know there's some leadership members in here. Let me send this to everyone. If you can help me out, every now and then send this link out, or if you see people asking in the chat about it, please share that so that everyone can have that. So this is going to be only for people who are registered on our platform, who has a login, but you'll be able to see all the entries. Don't go ahead of us, but what you can use that for is if for some reason the streaming is slow or the sync is off, if you want, you can mute while we watch it as a group and watch it on your own computers. So that's kind of the big things. At this point, I want to kind of thank our judges for taking the time to spend the time judging these and looking at them and putting scores, and then also for being here. We had them this time score in advance instead of at the event like we did last time, and that way they just had a little bit more time. They could look at it and kind of put their best score, kind of really, get a good idea of what they thought of each one. So at this time, I'm going to invite the judges to come on, and then we will have them kind of one at a time introduce themselves on who they are real quick. So, all right. Everett, you were the first one who popped up. Why don't you start?
Hi, my name is Everett Downing, and I am a director, executive producer who's worked all over the place. I think the most recent thing I've done is My Dead Bounty Hunter, which will be coming out very soon. So,
thank you, Michael.
Hey, I'm Michael Lewis. I am a EP, showrunner, writer, and director. Currently got a show over at Nick Jr. that I'm cooking on with them, and I'm directing a brand new series over at Nickelodeon right now.
All right, let's go, Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm a voice actor, a dubbing producer, and also voice director. I think you can, in terms of voice direction, Abominable, DreamWorks' TV show, is currently out on Hulu that you could check out. Let's fill you.
Awesome. And Carl?
I'm Carl Johnson. I am a composer, and I've been working in music for animation for, turns out, 30 years. I just added it up, seems crazy, but worked on Batman the Animated Series and Animaniacs, Goof Troop, stuff like that. And most recently have been working on Looney Tunes cartoons for Warner Brothers, which is on HBO right now. So glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, thank you, judges. So at this time, we'll go ahead and get started. Chat's very quiet, but can everybody see the link that I shared? Just kind of give an indication. If so, the first team that we're going to be starting with is the production On a Roll. So if you were the representative for On the Roll, go ahead and click the raised hand. All right, Louis. All right. Going to bring Louis on. Judges, you can go ahead and turn your mics and cameras off, and we'll bring you back on after we show it. All right, Louis, you should have got a link.
Hello.
Hey, Louis.
Perfect. Hi, Eric. Hi, guys. I'm gonna keep mine really short, and I'm just going to thank my team instead of giving an intro. I want to thank my producer, Tian Rune Zhang, the guy who helped me this whole time, my partner in crime. I want to thank McKenna Metz, who delivered a really good script, something that was really funny and something that was really charming. Shelby Jakubik, who created outstanding character designs for this. Joe Deanda, who really punched it up with his storyboards. Jimmy Shee, our incredible animator who got so much done within a week. We're so thankful for him. Our voice actors, Catherine Campion, Kristen Paul, Diana Lanzaline, they really brought these characters out. Our editor, Yadvendra Singh. Singh was incredible. This is one of his first experiences editing, and he did a great job. And then the music. One thing you'll notice is music carries our film, and Katrina Zemrak, she just delivered on the soundtrack for this. So thank you so much to my team for challenging me to be a better leader, and I am so happy we got to create something that all of us could be proud of. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Louis. And here we go. And I think you all can still hear me, but just kind of as a reminder, if the sync issues are bad, you should be able to watch it directly from the website. And I think I had chat disabled, but it should be turned on now. So hopefully that's working. So we'll check back.
One large sushi boat.
Try to remember me!
No, the music is dead.
Maybe he's friendly. Maybe he's friendly. Maybe he's friendly.
Huh? Nani?
Whoa!
Oh, let's jump in.
Whoa!
Wow, that's pretty sharp.
I told you we were missing percussion. Hey, Chef! Wanna join our band? Woohoo! I knew he would.
Come on, guys, let's jam.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. All right, hopefully everyone saw that and it was smooth. Judges, go ahead and turn your cameras back on. Would love to kind of hear from a couple of you. Anybody that jumped out that has anything to say, or otherwise I can call on someone.
Well, I'll jump in and give kudos to Katrina. Definitely a music-driven story, and your tracks worked great. Fit right into the storyline. Really well done.
I love that all the voices had a distinct separation. I also just appreciated how tight it was, you know? Like I felt like everything you did, like there was a title card with the logo and the credits and the music worked with it. It was just so it was just so well put together, you know? It's like you knew where your strengths were and you used them appropriately.
Actually, I think it's pretty small. Why don't we just have all the judges kind of chime in real quick? We'll just keep them short, but I think that way everyone gets to say something. Michael, did you have something you wanted to add?
Sure, yeah. So for me and watching this, I'm pretty consistently story driven and making sure that visuals are helping support the story. And for me, I felt that the story was fun. It was original, and I liked the I like the kind of stakes that you put in there that kept the story going. I felt like visually you could have had a little more variety in there besides just the one the entire time. I thought perhaps you could have created a couple emotional moments that would have raised the stakes even further than you were trying to, when like the crab was getting taken, or the shrimp or the fish were reacting, or the moment of realization for the chef of what was happening. I just felt like you could have punched in a little bit more on that just to help us out with the story. But I think overall, very clean. Your storytelling was clean.
Yeah, just to kind of add on to what Michael was saying, that I know how challenging it can be with just a one camera setup. So that was the one thing I was like, oh man, it's really hard to tell that story in a one camera setup, just getting clarity and being able to tell, you know, a very funny and interesting story. You know, it's hard when you just got one, and there's some things that are obscuring kind of what the character is doing. That said, I mean, I thought you guys did a really great job. You got it, you finished up everything was like nice and polished. So great job, you guys.
Yeah, awesome work, everyone. And just kind of as a side note, on the platform, if you see underneath it says the team name, if you click on that, it'll actually show all the team members if you are curious. So, all right, judges, you can go ahead and hide your cameras. The next is Enchanted Bewitched. So all right, someone already has their hand raised. Love it. All right, we'll bring Scripts Out Loud. I'm assuming that's a person. All right, you should have gotten there. All right, there they are. Awesome. Scripts Out Loud, you are live.
Sorry, yeah, I should have put Julianne Dean on that. Sorry, I'm Julianne Dean from Team Enchanted. So thank you to my brilliant team. It's not just me, the whole team was absolutely amazing. I'm just going to quickly say their names: John Peters, Amelia Clover, Rebecca Davis, Anthea Greco, Brittany Joyner, Olivia Schwalls, Cara Reddy, Craig Smith, Emily Salitzer, and Greg Scamato. I mean, especially those last three at the very end, they were working their bottoms off to get it done. And we went for a blessing in disguise theme. We really went for it with our main little girl being called B, which means blessing. You'll find out a bit more about the theme. And we wanted something uplifting, and we wanted something that was funny and character based, because I'm a voice actor, and so we worked a lot on the voice track and the characters. And so I hope you love it as much as we do.
All right, thank you. All right, let's load it up here.
It's already All Hallows Eve and you haven't cursed a single human.
I'll curse the humans, Miss Headwitch, ma'am. Curse you! Curse you, human!
Oh, not like that, you moron. She means like this. You mother human! I need a magic curse, you imbeciles! Enough! I'm coming down there right now to curse you both!
Your stupidosity did it now, Poisandra!
Nuh-uh! It was your dumbity, Colindra! She got here fast.
Tweak or tweet.
She's a lot shorter and squeakier in person.
I want a tea party.
Oh,
What? Right away,
right away,
your hideousness.
On mine. Share.
What?
Sillies.
Huh.
Yum.
Yum.
I want
The punishment.
Tweak or tweet.
Huh? The human ritual? Okay. What the? You know, you're looking horridly rancid tonight, Poisandra.
No, you do.
No, you do. I'm serious.
No, you do.
I want fly.
Huh?
Okay. You fly better than a raven, Collie.
Thank you, Poisey. You fly better than a Headwitch.
So here you fools are with a...
Well, you've actually done something right for once.
A human, huh? Come, let's curse her into a newt.
You fools! You'll pay for this.
Where are you?
Bye-bye.
Goodbye,
Bye,
little witch.
Oh, I was worried sick about you.
Candy, my vomitous sister.
No, you know I won't say no, you foul gangrenous witch.
Oh, gangrenous, you're the most gangrenous. You're so rancid. You stink to high hell. You smell like bile.
Awesome. All right, judges, you can kind of turn your cameras back on. Awesome. Everett, why don't we start with you? I think you went last time. We'll go in
Sure.
order.
Yeah, I just want to say, congrats to the team. That was really, really great job. I mean, super solid the whole way through. Like, the fact that you were able to get it to such a finished state was pretty impressive. So kudos to the team. I thought the story was really, really sweet and really distinct character voices as well. I think you guys did really great.
Awesome. Michael, how about you?
Yeah, I thought it was super charming and super clever. I thought it's funny. We've watched all of these a few times, of course, just to get it in our brains. And this was one of the ones where the more I watched it, the more I chuckled. So I think there's some fun little hidden gems in there that have been built in. I think story-wise, it could just be tightened a little bit, but I think overall it's very clever. It's a fun, unique take on a story, and the the usage of the theme, the sort of secret theme, nailed it. It was really great.
Stephanie.
Yeah, I echo a lot of what's already been said. I love the F-bomb, like right off the bat to drop an unexpected humor like that. And also you did kind of like this double reverse thing where like, you know, when we see the kid, we're like, oh, okay. And then we flip it, then you flip it back, you know, towards the end. I think the only thing I could say is that, you know, when you're taking her out and she goes, I want and then, you know, the two other witches are like, oh no. I think those comedy beats just can be like tightened up and that would increase the drama and the build and the pacing and stuff. And it would just make it feel like it has momentum, you know, but great job.
And Carl, I think you're the last.
Yeah, I agree. Great job. Nice story. All of the visual and sound effects elements, everything worked really well. Music did really complemented everything. Greg, nice job. You got all the beats, all the right moments. The one thing that I was thinking that I could have heard that I didn't was the moment where the child's mother shows up off screen. And we don't really know if it's a good person or a bad person, or if it's going to be a heartwarming moment. The score might have been able to help us a little bit with that moment before we get into it, but it worked great once we got into the next shot. But really nice job, everybody. Super well done.
Awesome, thank you. All right, judges, you can turn your cameras off. And then next up is Dying to Meet You. If you please raise your hand. Jared, awesome. You should get a notification. Welcome, Jared.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jared White. I'm the creative lead on Team No Brainers. Just like to shout out our team and the amazing work everyone did, from our writer, Sam Malari, who took the theme of Blessing in Disguise and really ran with it, to Tyler Rogers, who did amazing design work, Juan Abdo, who really plussed everything up with the boards, to our amazingly talented cast, Pilar Uribe, Michael Pizzuto, Makeda Farrell, Reuven Herman, who brought his brilliant musical talents to the project, Christian Ramos, our production manager, and Kyrie Hood, our awesome editor, and of course, Will Silva, who did the painstaking work of animating it all. And without any further ado, we hope you enjoy Dying to Meet You.
Awesome, thank you.
I'm so late.
Only because your boyfriend forgot to pick you up, like he promised.
Hang on, he's texting me.
That man only cares about himself. Sooner or later, you're gonna get hurt.
You don't know Tony like I do.
He barely knows you. You can't keep overlooking his problems and downplaying your own.
It's fine. I'm fine. Actually, he said he loved me last week.
You wouldn't know love even if it bit you in the ass.
Ouch!
I'm just saying, it's time you kick that boy to the curb.
Gotta run, Grace. A carnival date never killed anyone.
Welcome to the Shadow Grove Carnival. We put the fun in funnel cake. Oh my gosh, you're bleeding. Here, let me patch you up.
It's just a scratch. Okay, thanks, bye. Hi, babe.
You're late.
Oh, sorry. I parked kind of far, and this guy...
Whoa, you look amazing.
Really?
Man, I love you. Score!
Way to go, babe.
All right, skee ball! You're in
Tony. Help.
Oh, you splashed me! So inconsiderate.
That's it. We're through. You're dead to me. I'm a monster.
No, you did the right thing ending it to Tony. You deserve someone who appreciates you for who you are.
You wanna eat brains? Him? Oh,
No brains.
All righty, judges, please turn on your mics and cameras. All right, anyone want to jump in to go first?
I really love the point of view. I thought just the creative point of view and storytelling in this was so unique and fun. I felt like it was very clear from beginning to end. The beats that you put in the story had, and the sort of B stories that were sort of going on simultaneously were constantly being supported. So I was really excited about this one. I thought this one was quite well done from a story concept and just an overall build. Just really, really fun to watch.
There were a couple of details that I noticed this time that I didn't last time, like the carnival sign that said carnal. Stuff like that, really clever, good writing, some good gags. Musically, I think Roiven did a great job. All of the notes were there. I like the sort of Romeo and Juliet thing at the end, but a really charming story. Well done.
I think that you guys did a really great job. For me, I know it's really difficult when you're kind of like balancing genres. So you're kind of going between like comedy and horror. And it's really, really difficult. I mean, you know, you got masters like, you know, Edgar Wright can really pull it off. So there were some times I think like maybe camera setups or maybe the way you sort of set things up that you could, I mean, because the whole time is like, I mean, because you want to go on the date that bad, she got bit. Like, but I mean, there's ways that you can kind of like, you know, like if you got that bitten and she sprays him or something, some things, but you feel where I think she wrestles for him a little bit too long. If it was like quicker, I think that's what it is. If it was some of the payoffs were a little bit quicker, I don't think you would think about it as much. That said, you guys did a really, really great job.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of great visual cues and just funny beats where it's just like, if, you know, you wouldn't recognize blah, 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 if it bit you right when she got bit. There were a lot of little things like, you know, anytime a body part fell off, I found myself laughing. From an audio perspective, I think whatever you did for the phone filter maybe wasn't exactly, it ended up just kind of sounding like being in a bathroom versus an actual telephone muffledness. But I also get that, you know, this was a very limited kind of resource and amount of time. So I also thought it was really smart because I noticed that like not everything was finished for the coloring, but like choosing not to color them in the tunnel of love, I thought was like a smart decision. It's like, if you weren't going to get to coloring all of it, like choosing that scene to not do made sense to me too. Like, I think you guys did a really good job. And it was really funny. And all the zombie groans were really, really good, which is not always easy to do. Sometimes sounds dumb.
Awesome. I think that's everyone, right? So moving on to the next one, getting lucky. If that team member will raise your hand, and then judges can go ahead and turn off your mics. All right. Do we have anyone from getting lucky? If not, I can go ahead and just play it. Nobody from getting lucky here? Going once, going twice. All right, let me load this up. Oh, wait, there's Valeria. Promote to panelist. All right. I will get it loaded while she jumps on.
Oh, here you go. I didn't expect to be on because I was waiting for Kevin or Chase to be on. I was just one of the voice actors in on the project. So same as everybody did, I want to thank everybody involved. I'm very sorry I didn't prep anything, so I don't remember the names of everyone involved because I didn't expect me to be on. And but thank you so much, everybody. It's always a hard work, and let's see. Thank you.
So nice to meet you. I like your muscles. No, don't say muscles on a first date. Time to get started. So the lizard says to the vampire, I'm cold-blooded. Wait, no, he says, I have blood, but well, I'm an amphibian, and it's not warm like maybe you're used to. Oh shoot, I think I messed this up. I think the vampire was supposed to say to the lizard, your blood is cold. Can I start over?
Yeah, I'd rather you didn't.
Martini?
Yes, over here. I ordered this before the event began since I saw you drunk your third one pretty quick.
Is this, well, vodka?
Time to switch. But if you're really hitting it off, feel free to stay and keep the connection a-flowing. So, do you know any good jokes?
Good to meet you. Shizabala.
Oh, it's Lilafana, but I don't have to go. The host just said that I could...
Looks like I'm up next.
Indeed. Sorry, that one isn't out of your seat yet. Don't you look delicious?
I can tell you're going to be trouble.
Stay calm. I got you.
You are hot. That's fire. I'm on fire.
Ma'am, someone, fetch some water.
More fire, you idiot!
You burn me, and you don't even give me your jacket? I have to take one from this fashionably challenged fairy thing? I didn't mean to eavesdrop earlier, but I'd love to hear you tell that joke again.
Getting lucky meeting you today and feeling like life is gonna be okay.
All right, judges. Carl, why don't we start with you?
I thought this was a really sweet story. When I watched it the first time, I wasn't quite sure where everything was heading, but I thought the ending was just really nice, very sweet. The characters were well defined, and there were a couple of questions that I had watching it, like, where are they? What are they doing? But by the end of it, all my questions were answered. So really nice job, everyone. Kevin, great job on the score. The one thing that I was thinking I could have used more of was some kind of danger when the people are on fire. I know you guys had to make room for sound effects and to get that whole thing to come off, but overall, really nice job.
Everett?
Yeah, I mean, this was one of the ones that I thought you guys did a really good job on. I will say, I feel like there's a lot of sound issues. Some of the stuff, especially with the dragon, like when I think you pushed it too far. I know you probably wanted to get get it to sound cool and different, but I think it was a little bit too distorted, which I think kind of for me took away from the performance. Also, I spend a lot of my career doing storyboarding, so like I'm big on like clarity and setup, and like I think that there's some things that like you guys were setting up that like missed, like the fire, her catching fire I kind of got, but I didn't really. So I thought that could, I mean, it was just like a lot of little staging things that I think could have been clearer. And I also think pacing wise, you guys, like it could have been paced a little bit better. Aside from that, great job, guys.
Stephanie?
Yeah, I agree, because I had the similar situation with Carl where like when I first watched it, I was struggling to like latch on to I was like, okay, this is the main character. I'm in her mindset. I'm following her. And then we kind of pivoted. And I think it's really just about like spending too much time with some of the other stuff. And so maybe you would want to like sacrifice a joke or sacrifice some of the stuff in those scenes that you might that are precious to you, so that you can get the story a little bit more clear. And I agree with the processing of the dragon's voice. It's starting to sound artificial. And then what happens as an audience member and that's fine if like, let's say it was a robot or something, but then you start thinking like, oh, is the dragon wearing a filter of a mask, or is it an artificial sound, or is that the way it naturally sounds like? And when you start thinking about those things, it pulls you out of the of your suspension of disbelief. I would also say that like I think that like sometimes like the character designs didn't always match the audio, the waitress did not, I don't think the voice necessarily matched the image. And then you have the host doing such like a great character voice, but then we never see them. And I almost would have loved to at least get one shot of who was the host if you're gonna make such like a bold, a bold character choice of that.
Yeah. I think just to chime in on what everyone's saying, what Everett, he hit a note I was thinking of before, and shaded as well. I think when we're into these quick sort of morsel stories where we have just a very short period of time to get across a very clear story, so much hangs on the setup. So much hangs on the setup. So I think you would have gotten away with a lot more of these moments of strange jokes sort of being stretched out and the awkwardness of the entire thing if we would have understood a little bit more of what was happening and why we should care. I think that's what was missing in the beginning for me, because I actually thought the entire thing was quite clever, especially the sort of end sort of tie up of the entire thing. But I think you sort of a little bit shot yourself in the foot by not giving us a setup. And sometimes the setup is a quiet setup. It's an empty setup that just sort of builds a shell for us to go, well, what's happening here? But I didn't even get that. So I really was sitting here going, wait, hold on, what's going on? I had to watch it a few times to get the pieces together to, got it. Speed dating, got it. Okay, got it. So I think if we would have had a little bit more of a framework in the beginning to walk into, or at least to sort of make ourselves question what's going on here, or a little bit more about the clarity of the story that's coming at us, you would have gotten away with everything that you were delivering, at least story-wise, right? Animation-wise, storyboard-wise, I completely agree with Everett. I think that you could have been a little clearer in intent with what was going on. But I think overall, it was quite a clever story, and it was fun.
Michael, do you think it would have been too much to start off with a card that says like Monster Speed Dating Night? And
no, I don't think it would have been too much. It could have been something that's passed through the door as you're walking into the bar, or something like that. It would have been a great moment there. I think also, if we wanted to do something a little more straightforward, it could have been a banner behind the announcer that Shay was talking about. So we could have had a moment of setup, and I think the setup could have come from the EMC, from the MC who was giving the sort of intros and the talk. That would have been a really fun, interesting little moment to set the entire scenario up.
Awesome. Anything else to add, or are we good? So, all right, I'm gonna bring Brian on for the next one. And it's still just a reminder, this is amazing that the work that these people have done in the month, and the fact that everyone was randomly assigned these teams. So you have no idea what, skill level your, teammates are gonna be or anything like that. So I'm always impressed by these. So, you guys are awesome. Brian, tell us about your little short.
Hello, I'm Brian Corpuz, the producer on The Little Owl, and I just want to thank our team for being so collaborative with our creative lead, Jane Lynn, our writer, Jordan Barnett. Morgan Germain actually came up with the story idea, and our designer, Eric Matthew Rodriguez. Our voice actors did really great. I think they all had such a variety of voices: Eric Aragoni, Roshni Lomeno, Barbara Hawkins Scott. Our animator, we decided to go CG with this project, which was unique, ambitious. I think we could have gone a little bit further into like lighting, but given the restrictions. So Justin Michael Passion did a really great job animating, getting the models, the rigs. Terrence Scott edited everything to time. I mean, this thing was a lot longer. So shout out to all editors, whoever did everything for their projects. That's a tough job. And Becca Shack, our composer, I thought did a great score for our project. So yeah, here's a Little Owl.
Little owl.
What's with the getup, bro?
It's my safety gear, just in case
You don't need all this. You just gotta go out and do it.
Mama, if I just jump from this 380-foot tree, I will punch 112 miles per hour to the ground. My book said so.
A book? You really are hopeless, Squirt.
Okay, that's enough of that. Honey, I know you're scared. This is your first time flying, but your natural instincts will kick in. This might help. Take a breath. Close your eyes, spread your wings, and reach for the skies. Oh, my mouse casserole is ready. We'll finish our lesson after dinner.
Hey!
Good evening. Don't mind me. I'm just getting a midnight snack.
I have protection. Take a breath, close your eyes, spread your wings, and reach for the skies. I can fly!
My little owl! My little flying owl! How did you initiate your first flight?
I guess it was just a leap of faith.
All righty, judges. Who wants to go first on that one?
Well, I'll chime in about the music real quick. Becca, great job. I thought it was beautifully recorded and mixed. I mean, the sound quality was really good. My only thought on it is it's almost like you had 10% too many good ideas per minute. There were so many changes, particularly like with the little twists and turns under dialogue, that it was a little distracting. I think you could have taken maybe a little bit longer point of view on it. I hate to say it, but maybe caught a little fewer items than you did. But the overall effect was beautiful, really nice compliment to the storytelling. And for the group in general, it was a very enjoyable short.
Yeah, I just like to chime in and say, first of all, congratulations. Like doing it, I've done a ton of CG, so I know how ambitious it is to try to do this, and the fact that you guys got it done in this amount of time it's pretty great. So kudos for that. I would agree, Carl. Like maybe try to fit too many things in. That said, I think you guys did a really, really good job. I was able to follow the story very easily. And I felt that there's some things, because you have CG, and because you're like, you can create an animatic, there were some moments I'm like, oh, you could actually just spend longer on that, just like render some more frames. And so I think this could have benefited just from like a pacing pass. I think aside from that, I thought you guys did a really great job.
I thought all the voices were like super distinctive, but not even just like that you can distinguish them like audibly, but like different points of view and very strong characters. The owl was so adorable. My only real thing is, and who am I to give like an art visual note because I'm the voice person, but I would have just liked the ground to be a different like almost like a different color in a way, because it wasn't like completely completed, and because so much of the story hinged upon the flying, and I sometimes would get lost in terms of trying to figure out where the action was, if they were on a tree branch or like what was going on, just because it was like brown on brown.
This was a really fun one for me to watch as a creator, and I really felt like it stretched my brain in ways that you want things to, because when I look at my own shows, I look at how clear the story is, and then I try to look at every aspect that we have in our sort of our color palettes, storytelling wise, to support that. And I felt like we were very, very similar to what Carl was saying. I feel like we had a very heavy music score. I felt, which can be stunning. But for me, the dialogue did not, it's funny, the story was clear. In that sort of color palette, one of those things is writing of dialogue. And the dialogue was not as clear and strong as the music. So the music actually became its own dialogue voice in the story. It was because of the score literally spoon feeding me everything that was happening the entire time that I really felt like I could follow the story. But I think to balance that off, I would have preferred to have a little bit more dynamic dialogue in there and not have to make the music carry so much of the weight of the storytelling, so that there was a balance there. Because again, the story was clear, the story came across beautifully. I really thought it was fun. I like this one. This is I work a lot in preschool still, so it's something that is close to me, and I feel like your beats there of what the kid was feeling and going through and sort of processing, get out of exciting, the fear, the risk, the taking things on, the challenge, the overcoming, all great, all great in the story. But I just felt like the music and the dialogue were not married. So I think if by chance the dialogue would have been just as challenging as the music, I probably wouldn't have noticed that so many musical things were pushing me as hard as they were, right? But the animation behind it, the CG, as Everett was saying, it's tricky in this short period of time to get something really polished going in CG, and you guys did a kick-ass job at it. So kudos to the whole team. Really, really exciting, very fun.
Anybody else have anything to add? Awesome. All righty, we are going to the next team, meteorologists. Do we have a rep? There we go. Oop, we got two of them. All right, one dropped off. All right, let's do this. All right, as they load on, I will get it set up.
Okay, hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, as with others, I was not prepared to do this, but hello. I think the same. Would like to thank the whole team, Jacob, Michael, Robert, Anna, Andrea, Jesse, Chris, Barry, Alejandro, Jeffrey. If you want to see last names and who did what, you can check out the site. I would say we had a blast doing this. It was my first one, so I thought it was really amazing just coming together with a team that we didn't know and trying to find a path forward that everybody could get behind. And I was one of the voice artists, so just seeing everybody working their butts off and down literally to the last minute, it's like messaging, okay, it has to win, guys. So just thanks everybody. It was a blast. I learned so much, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. We had fun.
You got this. Hi. Oh.
Hey, buddy, what's the big idea?
Hey. Ooh, sorry. I didn't mean to do.
Whoa, what are you doing?
I just was trying. Hey.
Get out of here.
Why the monkey face?
You ever feel unappreciated?
But I don't see why you would. Just look.
Why not?
Oh, yes, brightening up the day.
All righty, judges. Anyone want to start on this one? Michael, how about you?
I feel like this was a great statement piece. I felt like it was I would like to invest a little bit more in the statement. I would like to have a little help investing in the statement a little bit more, because I think it's very important. I think the message you're trying to get across is super important, especially it's very relevant to us right now in California and right now I'm in Portugal. I live both between two places, and we both, California and Portugal, both of my homes suffer from the same problem of drought and fire, and it's like two parallel worlds, right? So this is a global thing, and it's super important. I think story-wise, I would love to have invested a little bit more in the characters and the two main characters, your protagonist and your antagonist. I think that would have been a little bit more interesting to have a little more dialogue in there to create sort of dynamic between them. What I loved about it, though, was this sense of Philip Glassian sort of just constantly like a gentle monotony of music that sort of colored the mindset behind each of the characters and the world that was happening because of those two characters. So I really felt a shift there from the Burning Sun, and I felt a shift with the rain, and it was more of a mood music thing that happened to me, which I thought was an interesting choice. Again, it was more that choice to me really supported the statement more than necessarily the story, but I enjoyed it. So I liked it. It was fun.
Anybody?
I think I'll bounce off that, Michael. The music, Jeffrey, I really enjoyed some of the choices, particularly that last bit where it got kind of electronic during the rainstorm. And I think you were able to capture the sense of relief very nicely musically. And the rest of it worked really well too. I think I would agree, though, for me, it was very difficult to identify protagonist versus antagonist at the beginning. The voice casting, I think, helps, but when the cloud kind of accidentally starts or hits somebody with lightning, and we're kind of thinking, okay, is this a good guy or bad guy? It was a little hard to tell right at the beginning. But again, by the time we get to the end of it, everything is explained. So that was my only comment. It was kind of hard to tell which was which from the beginning.
Thank you, Carl.
Just to chime in, I think the biggest thing for me, again, I'm coming from the storyboard side of things. I think this would have really benefited from like a clarity pass, like clarity, timing, Also noticed that there was like some little bit of a kerfuffle with some of the dialogue. It was like not in the right place, which again, that's why you kind of want to do a clarifying pass. And, it's all about like, whenever you're telling a story, it's all about like, setup and payoff. And I think that those were off, which really had I think made me struggle to fully connect, as per Michael, fully connect with the story. Aside from that, you guys did a really great job. You guys got it done, and you were able to get color, and it felt really cohesive. And I think that's why getting getting it to really read, getting it to feel cohesive is super important.
I loved the concept of this piece. Again, also being an environmentalist, I gravitated to this message. I do think though this feels like almost like the beginning of the concept without fully fleshing it out. We could have had a little bit more setup with the insecurity for the cloud. Even when we first see the sun come in, his first lines, "Hey, what's the big idea?" And it's not really clear, and I think it's supposed to be about he's being blocked, right? But the line is so generic that it takes you a while, you only get it after the fact, after you moved on past that moment. I think the voices for the sun and the cloud were very distinctive, but I think for the moon, I'm not really sure what the purpose of that character or the point of view or how it serves to further on the story. I also love this idea that we may feel insecure about ourselves, or that everyone serves a purpose and has something to contribute, and I think that could have been just clarified and highlighted a little bit more, and that it's all about working together, not just what we might like one thing, but it's too much of one thing all the time is not great. Yeah, and there was a little sync issue with the audio on that part, but overall, I loved the concept of it.
And I got to say, one of my favorite gags of the day is when the guy's watering, and not only does he run out of water with the hose, but then fire starts coming out of it. That got a laugh from me.
Awesome. Thank you, judges. I'm going to bring on the next team now. Team Rotoscopers. Karina, it looks like. Alrighty.
Hi, I'm the production manager for Team Rotoscopers. And firstly, I would like to thank all of our team for all their hard work. Paul Latza, our editor, Vikrant Muthusumi for our composer, Conlon Taff, our board artist, Merrick Moore-Fields, our designer, Ryan Roop, our writer, our awesome voice actors, Alex Morgan and Ariel Fournier, and our creative lead, Zion Wade. I really enjoyed working with them, and we all produced like rockin' like stuff. For our short, we're really going for something comedic, lighthearted, and relatable, and I hope you all enjoy.
We're going to crush this competition. Our pumpkin's gonna fly as far as Europe, maybe even Eastern Europe.
All that matters is that we get an A. That way, I can get a perfect score in Mr. K's class and rub it
in my sister's face.
All right, class, all right. The trebuchet launch will begin in 15 minutes. As an added bonus, whichever trebuchet launches the furthest will receive this handmade trophy, as well as 5 points extra credit.
Trophy? Extra credit? We're gonna crush it! Ugh, it's Brad, here to claim the A we worked so hard on. When I say we, I mean us.
No, I got that, but I mean, we did kind of take control of the project.
Still, he could have at least been there, instead of leeching off our good work.
Hey, Brad!
Sup? Seems alright. Sure the arm's long enough? Yes, I'm sure. He's giving us notes?
Just calm down and think about the trophy.
Trophy. Okay, I feel better now. Uh-oh, the Turner triplets are up. Please screw up! Please screw up!
I can't believe it! A pumpkin can do this?
This was no pumpkin. This was sabotage.
I'm sorry, girls. And Brad, I know this isn't fair. Tell you what, I'll give you all a B+ for your efforts. How's that?
B+?
Might as well quit school now and become jugglers at Cirque du Loon. You know, we can salvage this. Basic pieces for the fulcrum mechanics are still here, and my dad has supplies in his truck. If we act fast, I bet we can rebuild. I mean, you know, if you want. What does your dad have?
You're part of an engineering club?
Yeah, I was actually really looking forward to this project, but you two sort of took over. Didn't seem like you wanted me involved. Jules has a habit of doing that. Ow! Okay, we both do. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. I think it worked out.
So, what are we gonna use as a counterweight?
Now! Woohoo! To Eastern Europe.
Awesome work. All right. Judges, who would like to start off?
I can start off. I thought this one was really, really solid. I mean, like really great coordination of like all the elements. Like I was able to follow it really easily. If I'm going to nitpick, and this is just nitpicking because I thought it was really great. Just the introduction to that secondary character. I want to get just a little bit more of a sense of their history. Like, because I love the reveal that like, well, you guys didn't want me to be involved, and I wanted a little bit of that in his like, you know, entrance. That said, I thought it was really, really great. Great, like voice acting. Also, I want to give you guys kudos of knowing when to like, because you know, I'm seeing the production, and you guys, I saw when you guys stopped doing color and when you started again, and it was really smart how you did it. Like you brought it back like when it was dramatically appropriate. So good job.
Yeah, the acting performances were really tight. I actually forgot to turn off my mic, so you guys probably all heard me laughing, where he was like, "I'm sorry, girls," and Brad. And it's just like little things like that are like, unexpected, moments that I really love. If I were gonna be like really, really nitpicky, the only thing I would say, and this is, of course, you guys are a bunch of strangers that are kind of like just thrown together to kind of fill what you need to fill. I did feel like the age range of the kids were a little bit disparate. The brunette girl, I think, felt like she sounded a little too old, and then Brad sounded a little bit too young to all be in, like, I don't know if they were like supposed to be in the same class, and that took me out a little bit. But honestly, it's so minor because in terms of like just even the voices and the acting in of themselves were I think really fantastic. It was just kind of like in terms of like putting them together, maybe like in the world, that would be my only little like tiny little picky thing.
Anybody else have anything to add?
Oh yeah, this is a great example of clear storytelling. I thought it was just great. It was funny. I understood the characters. You made me attached to them, whether I liked it or not, and you pushed me along in the story. I just really, and you had twists and turns in there that I was not expecting, which is just great. I think your use of it's an age thing, it's your use of character in there, and the use of the black line in there was just it was fun. It was great choices in there. The colors, just the style of anime, it just felt really, really solid. I liked it. So glowing. The only thing that I would say is you had a great sense of timing. That was probably one of your strongest suits in this entire thing. Your comedy timing, your stakes timing, your drama timing, all great until the end. When all of a sudden they were said, what's going to be the counterweight? We are, boom, gone, done. And I felt like the payoff wasn't there. We just sat there the whole time. Yes, haha. Shay's back there laughing in the corner. We're all having a great time. I just wish you would have given us that moment of payoff of what's going to be the counterweight, and whoosh. And then the comedy would have landed a little bit more together, and the teamwork would have come together a little more, because this was all about actually them being a team despite themselves, right? So I think that would have, your message would have been solidified a little bit more if you would have taken a little more time on that moment.
And I'll just agree with everybody that super strong job, top to bottom. Vikrant, I'll just mention a couple of things about the score. I thought your choices of when to do what were excellent. Taking an example of how to pace your ideas and which moments to play up and how, I thought really worked well. A couple of great Easter eggs of having the triplets have a little 3/4 melody in there. And the way that when they're starting to rebuild the machine, you put in the pulse to kind of give it that forward momentum. Just great choices, top to bottom. Beautiful mix, beautiful writing, and to the whole team. Yeah, very satisfying. I agree, though. I wanted like another 10 seconds to wrap it all up at the end.
All right.
And one last comment. I loved it when the girl had the demonic voice about rubbing in his face. I lolled when I heard it the first time.
Awesome. All right, thank you. Team Gertie. Do we have a rep for that team? There we go. Hamilton. All right. Judges, you can go ahead and turn your cameras and mics off now. Hamilton, you're live. You're muted, but live.
Hi. Okay. All right. Well, first of all, I want to say, oh my gosh, it's been so fun to see everybody else's project. This has been such a fun time. And everyone has made tremendous work. I'm blown away, and I'm so glad that our team got to be a part of this. So thanks to Eric and Lynn, who I know is not here, for putting this on, and to the judges. And of course, before we get into ours, I want to say thank you to Team Gertie. It was an absolute privilege to get to work with such a talented group of artists who all got thrown thrown together, and I'm really proud of what we were able to put together. So thanks to our writer Max, who put together such a fun script, and to Lacey, Rob, Dina, our voice actors who brought Max's characters to such a vibrant life, and the art department, Laura, Diana, and Fung, who spent so much of their time and effort making it look as good as we could down to the very end. To Jared, who is our composer, for setting the mood perfectly, I think, throughout our piece, and Joe, who is our editor, to making all of our ideas work in time, and of course, thanks for our amazing producer Sophia, who got us all together on the same page and took it all the way to the finish line. I had a lot of fun. I know our team had a lot of fun, and thanks again for putting this all together. And let's watch The Beasts of Nighthold Manor.
My name is Phoebe Nighthold. My great-uncle, Hieronymus Nighthold, was a legendary monster hunter. He killed hundreds of creatures in his lifetime until the day they all swarmed his mansion for revenge. He was never seen again. My family has tried to clear out the creatures, but they all failed. Now it's my job to...
The time has come again, my devoted followers. And my power rises!
A real vampire!
Who's there? Who dares interrupt my...
Werewolf! Oh no, where am I now? What did I just step on? Oh no, what if those were human bones and this is the dead body closet?
Ah, you stepped on my chips, dude. Hey, you seem stressed. You want one?
I have a better idea. They just don't get me, Fred. They say I'm wasting my time. All of my family are monster hunters, but I just want to teach yoga.
And yet, here you are, hunting monsters.
Nobody's been able to reclaim the family home. They said it'd make me an adult, fulfill my destiny and all that crap. Honestly, it seemed like the only way for a millennial to afford a house in this economy.
So, that's why you interrupted my stream?
Your stream? I thought you were doing some dark ritual.
It's a character, baby girl. We all have to do online jobs after your dumb grandpa botched that banishment spell.
Yeah, and that left us trapped here instead. We can't leave, even if we wanted to.
I can relate. I'm desperate to get out of my parents' house, too.
Well, if you want to live here, you could have just asked.
She tried to kill us.
I know, right? And she totally sucked at it.
And I'm really sorry about it.
Hey, if we have a roomie who can go outside, she can buy our groceries. And we won't have to use that creepy Instacart guy anymore.
Oh, I do hate him. All right, deal. But you're teaching me some of that yoga. My back is killing me from hanging upside down all the time.
Sweet! I'm just gonna let my parents know I'm never coming home. So wait, how does a vampire stream? I thought you didn't show up on cameras.
Please, the thing about mirrors and cameras is that he used to use silver.
Oh, by the way, we're a silver-free household.
Awesome. Judges? All right. Who would like to begin? Carl, how about we start with you?
Okay. Jared, music, great job. I thought you did a really good job of establishing the genre at the top, sort of the Indiana Jones vibe. The music choices were really good. The one thing that, and I know it was, once we get into the yoga at the end, it's a long stretch of dialogue, but the music seemed to kind of come in and out. There was a little bit of a mismatch, it seemed. Maybe the best thing to do is have the music go out entirely and then find a place to have it come back in so that it makes dramatic sense. But in general, it worked really well. The one thing storytelling wise that I found that I had to go back for was I didn't really get at the beginning that she was like a monster hunter trying to get these monsters. And what was that she dropped on the way in? And I had to go back and realize that, oh, it's a bottle of holy water that she was going to use. And I'm not an artist or a great storyteller, but I'm wondering if there's a way to make that more plain to the audience, exactly what the stakes were and what the setback was at that moment and why it was going to make her job more difficult. I'd be interested to see what you guys say.
I can speak next. I think that I actually thought this was really funny. I love the set. I thought the setup was pretty good. And the reversal was great. There's that part of me that like I think if I were like I would hammer on, because I'm all about like, you know, not believability. I guess believability is what you're looking for, and like your audience's buy-in. And the only thing I was like, oh man, I wish they'd come up with something better. Was for like I love that like the werewolf opens the closet and then reaches past her for the chips, and I think it would have been just funny if they would just like want one, and then you can cut to them doing yoga later. Because I mean, I thought it was really funny actually. Great dialogue. And you guys did a really good job of finishing it up. So, yeah, good job.
Awesome. Michael, you look like you were.
Yeah, I felt like dialogue-wise, you established a very clear tone. You established a tone to your piece, so it felt like it was identifiable as its own. It stood out. So that's a kudos to you for that. To sort of circle back to what Carl was talking about before, it's funny, and to what Everett was talking about, because I agree with them both, even though they are slightly contradicting one another. But there's something in there that I think connect the two. Carl was sort of saying there's a setup somehow in there that was missing, right? Because we didn't understand where she was and Everett was saying there was a great setup. And I agree. The setup, actually, the backstory setup was excellent. The backstory, how we got into it, was excellent. The character setup of what she was doing in that moment as she's stepping into the story was not clear. So the backstory of the whole thing that we were about to watch was clear. And I hope that makes sense. But the character's beat that's leading her into this moment was not clear. So I think we could have had one little moment of character setup besides backstory setup. I hope that makes sense. The other thing that I thought you could have done is taken, very similar to what Everett was saying with animation stuff earlier, you could have taken a comb and done a cleaning pass with this dialogue-wise and script-wise. Your dialogue and your script was strong, but there was some stuff in there that wasn't needed. We could have, very similar to what we were saying, we could have just cut ahead there, or you could have just dropped a line and the story would have actually moved faster. So I can't remember off the top of my head, there was something that the vampire said when she was debating whether or not to join her in yoga or something like that. It just could have tightened up. Same thing with a werewolf and the chips. It just could have tightened up, and tightening it up would have made this sort of dry humor scrape us even more, which is what you want, right? So overall, though, excellent.
I really enjoyed this. I love that first beat where she says, I come from a long line, and then she screams. And I think that's what Michael's talking about, like the backstory setup. I think they're like, you know what might be kind of a cool fix is like after that beat, if you had her be on the phone with her mom and her mom is like pressuring her to clean out that den, right? Because I love that really creative visual effect where she throws the phone and then you see the text and then you kind of have it bookended in a way, right? And you raise the stakes because pressure for mom, man, is always raising the stakes, you know? So yeah, and there was also a moment where she screams where when the vampire's like doing her live stream and she screams and the vampire's like, wait, who's there? I understand the choice of having her scream like, it's a vampire, because you want the vampire to hear her, but I still think it took me out a little bit because I think if she's really that scared and she could still speak out loud in a hushed way but still be overheard, you know, like little things like that. And there was, you know, when she said the piece about like, oh, we need to get online jobs. I feel like online jobs is a little bit, she's talking about being an influencer and, you know, getting sponsors. So I don't know if it's like that would be like an OnlyFans joke or something more specific to having, you know, subscriber followers payment versus an online job, which can run the gamut of things. And then the other little thing about like her back hurting and needing yoga, she says from hanging upside down. I probably would have changed that to something like, you know, like sleeping in a coffin or in terms of that stuff, because even we already got that she is hanging upside down. And I think hanging upside down is supposed to be good for your back. That's the, like, so it's like little tiny little things like that to really like tighten it up, because like it's, the premise is so good. There's so much. And even like in the yoga scene with the werewolf and stuff, he really had this vibe of like this kind of like chill stoner surfer dude. Like if he's going in the cabinet, it could, the dialogue could be more about like the munchies or something, you know, to like really bring it home. Like there's so many things. But I thought I really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it.
Anything else? All right.
The phone at the end was so
Great.
funny.
Yeah, great job.
Well, at this time, if everybody in the chats kind of help me thank the judges for coming and kind of spending their time, we really appreciate that. There were 2 judges that weren't able to make it. Peter Ramsey, he said that he had a family thing come up and he wanted to send his or convey his apology. Also, Amber Hollinger, who won an Emmy last night, so big, you know, shout out to her. She woke up this morning feeling sick. So she went from a high to feeling sick. So she really wanted to be here. She sent me this message that she was tickled and surprised with the efforts and ideas, really impressed with how much they were able to do with fellow artists they didn't know. I know lots of I hope a lot of new friendships were made. So again, she was hoping to be here. Lynn, who was our master of ceremonies, who was hoping to be here, is currently stuck in another country. He really wanted to be here, so he wasn't able to be here. So got a couple things while we wrap up before I'm sure some of you want to know who won. There was 99 people who were put on a team that we got 9 teams out of. All finished and all submitted, but one team didn't have any picture. They had a team member, you know, stuff like that, but they still submitted audio. So while they're not part of the competition itself, I did want to share the audio that they had. So while you're, you know, going to the website and judging and stuff like that, go ahead and listen to the hard work that this team put in for that. So at that time, like I said, if I'll share the link one more time, I've been spamming it kind of throughout, but this is where the voting is. Again, you know, you can score them all as 10, being the highest or whatever. So it's not like a ranking system. So just put like kind of 10 being the highest, kind of going from there. The other thing, I had other thoughts I wanted to share. The winners, we do have a little thing that we'll be mailing to you, a little, you know, bad or not a bad, but like a little trophy thing. So we'll be getting the email or the mailing addresses for those. Let me think, is there anything else that I need to add before we do this? Let's see. Like I said, go to that here. Did I share it? I can't remember. Here it is again. Go to that. Make sure you hit the submit after you put your score in so that it records it. With that said, I will, judges, you can turn off your cameras and we'll bring everyone back on in a little bit after we listen to the audio of the last team. That was not it. But anyways, if you guys do not hear this audio, please just send me a message in the chat. It should be starting in about 10 seconds.
Pay trip to planet.
Please be Saturn. Please be Saturn.
Sorry, technical difficulty. Did everyone hear that? Okay, yeah. Yeah, that was the problem. I'm just trying to get it from the beginning. So 1 second. Continue voting. It's amazing how difficult they're making this for me. Open with QuickTime Player. All right, let's see.
And the winner of our grand prize is...
Hey, Eric. Alex would like to make an intro for his team.
Yeah, that's why I stopped it. Probably should have done that from the beginning. Alex, did you get the invite to come on? There she is. All right. Sorry about that, Alex. You're muted, Alex.
Hi there.
Awesome.
I'm here. And I'm starting my video. And hi all. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say super quickly, I know that we didn't make the polished finished project. I am representing team Shut the Front Door. It's an honor to do so. It's an amazing team. We had a really great fun time doing this. We bonded. I just would like to quickly really thank our creative lead, Ariel Freeman, our amazing writer, Laura Napoli. I mean, she just wrote this thing over 10 times, I think. I have to give a huge shout out to DJ Stewart. I mean, not only production manager, storyboard artist, animator. As Eric said, we some of us took on some roles that we would not normally take on due to unforeseen obstacles. And so MVP right there, our amazing art department, Alias and Robert Gold, and our editor, Demetrius, Dodoris, our outstanding VO artists, Valerie Strumenti and Melissa Ford, who is also a production assistant, and myself. I was a voice actor and also an illustrator. And I don't believe I'm leaving. And obviously our composer, Kareem Kanu, who jumped in. So I just feel like we had an amazing time doing this. And we just decided to create something to put a smile on everyone's faces. Our goal was just to have a positive message, to keep it light and fun, and that just perhaps things aren't always what they seem. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the audio version, soon to be released in theatrical, Planet Sweepstakes.
Thank you, Alex.
And the winner of our grand prize is Kepler of Centauri! You're heading on an all-expenses-paid trip to the planet...
Please be Saturn. Please be Saturn.
Earth!
Man.
Pack those bags, kiddo!
Ooh la la! Ooh la la, it's my cousin, Kepler.
And you just kept plopped into my cafe! Care for a macaron?
No, it just reminds me of Saturn, and that makes me sad.
Then this will make you happy. Go on, eat it.
Bite tight. That's good.
Take a box. Take two.
Hello, Earthling.
Oh, welcome to Earth.
Do you have macaroons?
Unfortunately, I do not, but I have Sakura.
Blech. The macaroon was better.
But if you smell them, it will be even more wonderful.
By Atlas. That smells nice.
You keep it for yourself.
Will it bring me to Saturn?
I don't believe it will, but it might help you find what you're looking for. Come back anytime.
No way! Are you an alien? I am. Come! Dance with me. This is samba. Like this. You take my hat. Now we are friends forever.
Kepler of Centauri! You're heading on an all-expenses paid trip to the planet
Please be Earth, please be Earth.
Uranus!
Aww.
All right, that was the last entry. So thank you. Why don't we bring on the judges? And judges, if you have anything to say, I'm looking kind of at Carl and Stephanie mainly, but others are welcome to chime in. I know this is the first time you guys have heard this.
I just gotta say, I'm always interested to see where you're gonna go with Uranus jokes. And I'm sure there was something great visually to go along with it. Well, I'll just say, very difficult, to figure out the storyline without anything visual, but I think there were enough cues there to explain what was going on, and nice use of sound effects as a storytelling element. And Kareem, the music, I think helped set the place that you were trying to go for. So good job, you guys.
I really would have wished I could have seen the visual. It sounded, I felt like I got a sense of what was going on, but I would have loved to see like the little moments. And then I felt I got like Bjork vibes at the end from that one character, which I really enjoyed.
The timing sounded really good, actually. Like the timing of everything, I was like, okay, like, yeah, it sounded great.
Cool. Michael, did you have anything to add, or? Cool. All right, with that, I am gonna close the voting. So hopefully you've all got a chance to put your voting in. If you go to the top of your voting page, for those of you that are on the platform, the scores will show up. It will show the top 5, and then it will also show 4 kind of just specialty categories just for the fun of it. But like I said, the main winner is kind of the first one, and they're the ones that will be crowned the champions of this Creators Jam, and also the ones that will send a little thing too. So with that said, I am going to review the winners. Drum roll. We need drum rolls. This isn't a great production, I guess. All right, so here it is. You should be seeing them on the top, but oops, sorry, let me tally the scores first. Make sure we get the audience. So I should mention that the audience scores might have an effect on the final score, but they're not weighted as much as the judges. So let me make sure I add those in first. Doesn't look like it changed much though. So everyone sees it at the top. So congratulations to No Brainers, Dying to Meet You. They were the top scored from both the judges and the audience. Looks like the audience favorite is Getting Lucky. And then the most enjoyable was The Beast of Knighthood Manor. The most creative was Dying to Meet You. And then the best production value was Little Owl. Everybody see that? So why don't we have the winning team, the no-brainers, go ahead and raise your hand if you'd like to kind of come on. We'll have you, I'll bring you on to chat, kind of talk a little bit more, judges, and then that's kind of our event, you know. You guys are welcome to hang out. But again, thank you everyone for being a part of this. And I know it's a lot of work considering most of you are working, and trying to do this on the side is not easy. But I'm always impressed with the work that everyone does. Hey, Jared.
Hello, I'm representing the no-brainers here and Dying to Meet You. Thank you everyone so much. Thank you to the judges. What an amazing panel of judges that we had for this. Incredible to hear all your feedback too. Thanks to Eric Miller and Lynn at the Creators Society for organizing this. Congrats to all the other teams. It was amazing to see all of your work. And amazing how much everyone did in just a month. And thank you to our amazing team, the no-brainers. And, you know, I went back and forth on whether I was going to sign up for the Creators Jam, and I kind of decided to do it at the last minute. And in retrospect, it was a no-brainer for me. So thank you, everyone. And I really appreciate this. And thank you to, here, Kyrie is here, our awesome editor. Would you like to say anything?
Yeah, this was super fun. My first Creators Jam, my first time editing animation, and it was super fun. I learned a lot. Jared was so helpful and so awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better creative lead. Pilar, your voice acting was amazing. I loved it. I loved every minute of doing this, and I hope to do it again next year. And thank you guys, judges, for taking the time and effort and you know, giving us great feedback. And I think we're all gonna go back and kind of finish it just for ourselves with the coloring and everything. And Eric, thank you for putting this together. And also shout out to Greg Scamato, who did Bewitched, the music for that, as he told me about this, this whole thing. So yeah, thanks guys.
Awesome.
And Pilar, would you like to say anything? Our wonderful voice actor.
Oh, well, I just have to say that it's such an amazing process, you know, and the very first time we all got together, we're staring at each other on Zoom screens, kind of like going, like we don't even know what's going on. And then for this to happen as teamwork, I mean, it's so amazing. And I just want to say, Jared, you were such a wonderful director, and I so appreciate it because you did not let up on me. And I really like that because I love being directed. So I'm very grateful to everyone who worked on this team, and to Eric and all the judges. Thank you.
Thank you. It was amazing collaborating with you and with everyone on the team. It was a true collaboration.
Sorry, we got Reuven, who I haven't brought on yet. Sorry about that, Reuven.
Yeah, Reuven, our amazing composer.
Take your time. He's coming.
I'm here, I think. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool. Yes, congratulations to everybody else on the team. I want to just repeat what Kyrie and Pilar said about Jared doing such an amazing job keeping everybody on the same track. And also shout out to Kyrie because I was keeping track of her and Jared's chat on throughout the night, and I don't think they ever slept. So they both did an amazing job putting everything together. But I mean, I've been lucky enough to be part of two great teams now in these creator jams, and it really is a testament to having great team members where everybody pulls the rest of the team up together and makes everything the final project much better. So I'm really grateful to everybody for helping me and also being patient while I was on vacation and then sick with COVID before I could do my part.
Awesome. We had a kind of update late, so the category favorites were kind of updated a little late. So to rechange those, the most enjoyable, I don't know if these changed much, but The Beast of Night Manor. The audience favorite was the Trebuchet. Sorry about that. The most original and creative was Dying to Meet You, and The Little Owl was the best production value. So I think one of those changed. So, but just wanted to clarify that. Again, thank you, everybody. Thank you, judges. Again, incredible efforts from everybody. And thank you. So have a good rest of your day.
Thank you everyone for watching.